I am absolutely honoured and delighted to be joined by Sue Knight. Thank you, Sue, for making time for this quick chat today. I'm very excited that you are going to be presenting at the In-Person Conference in May 2026, and your topic is going to the edge. So please do start by telling us a little bit more about yourself and your topic.
Okay. Well, I'll talk about the topic. It was inspired when I used what's current for me in terms of talks and sessions. So at the time then you were asking for contributions, I think I was reflecting on the fact that I had cycled from my home in southwest France to Italy, where I've been invited to do a program. Well, I've done it for a couple of years now, in Italy, outside Parma, and I just thought, well, why don't I cycle there? It was as kind of almost as simple as that. Which did put the fact I was doing a program at the end of it put some pressure on it because I had to get there for the program. Yeah, I couldn't just take my time. So that was what kind of sparked it. That was current for me at the time, and cycling typically is invariably current for me.
Yes.
So that was how it came about, and it was, it was edgy for me, in the sense that I've often done circular tours, big circular tours, but to go, I've always fancied doing this one place to another, I've read all these books, autobiographies for people who've cycled across continents and cycled around the world. And I have cycled across India as well. I mean, we do trips. I do a tour each year, which is not always straight across, but it's a big circular tour in the south of India. And I'm doing one again this year.
Cycling for me in itself would be going to the edge, I think. So I am full of admiration for what you're doing, or what you have done. So what's fresh, innovative and new that delegates will take away from your session?
I think it's that whole principle of going to the edge, going to a place it's scary in some way, it's uncomfortable, vulnerable. And I realized when I was thinking about all the provocative coaching and training that I do, that that's really the goal of that as well, is to take people to an edge, to provoke them in a loving, challenging way with the intention of learning, is to take them to that place where they feel vulnerable, or they feel uncomfortable, because that's the opportunity for learning, that place. If you stay, I always say that in coaching, if your clients stay comfortable all the way through a coaching session, they've probably not learned anything. That it's that discomfort and things kind of shifting and discovering a new way to handle a scenario, that there's the opportunity to learn.
Yes.
And so the cycling is one way of doing it. It's physical and it's mental, because it absolutely tests your mental, ability, and what you're thinking about what's coming up, for example, makes a huge difference. What you think about going up a hill or a mountain, it determines how you do it. I mean, you do need the physical ability as well, but if you start thinking, can't do this, or I'm no good at this, it'll just show itself in the way that you ride. But I think that, some people are kind of wary about the provocative coaching, because it is going to take you to an edge, and ultimately, hopefully, an edge where you can be amused but learn, and that's the key.
Yes. They talk about growth edges, don't they? So so it absolutely makes sense.
I think it was an approach that Bandler has taken in the past. I know that several of my associates trained when I had a team like that. They trained with Bandler, and it was about finding those places where those places you want to avoid, because those are the places where where if you learn in those places, then you're just developing your flexibility and your
Yeah,
strength.
absolutely, absolutely. So what would be your top tip for delegates attending your session?
Attending the session, it's always to come with an open mind.
Yes.
Come prepared to be amused. I think it's also about come, you know, recognizing that going to an edge, it's about what are you being an example of. It depends what your role. If you're a trainer, for example, or you're a coach, it's not. I don't think it's not just about the kind of questions that you ask, and the steps that you follow. I mean, I don't think it's that at all. But it's what are you an example of?
Yeah.
And whether you share that or not, I think that shows itself in who you are.
Yes.
There's I often say, well, no, I don't often say, I kind of said it more recently, that the way we handle those edgy situations, it's an opportunity to show and to discover your authority.
Mm.
I think authority and certainty in belief about what's going to happen is really significant. If you doubt for a minute
Yeah.
that somebody's going to get learning with you, then in a way you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't be
Yeah.
doing it. If you doubt that somebody's going to get learning. I mean, I always remember having studied Feldenkrais, for example, awareness through movement. Moishi Feldenkrais, said, if you doubt, that you can make a difference to somebody, you shouldn't be doing this. And so the meta message that we hold, that we give out by how we live our lives, by how we are, I just think is so significant. It's one of those things that's the difference that makes the difference.
Well, it's you take people to the edge of that vulnerability and authenticity, then
Exactly.
it's going to come through, isn't it?
Exactly. I mean, we can only train and I think coach people to an edge that we've got for ourselves. If you go, well, I'm going to back off here, well, how can you expect anybody else to go from that point? So our limits,
Yeah,
their limits.
absolutely.
So people can come expecting to have their limits extended.
All part of the fun.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So Sue, what inspired you to want to present at what is going to be the last in-person NLP conference?
Well, there you are. You said it, I think. I'm at that age when it's last ofs rather than firsts of. So, and I haven't done an in-person conference for a long time.
Yeah.
Anywhere. I mean, I've done trainings online, trainings in person, but not conferences. So, given that it's a last of, and I was there in kind of early days, it'll be a nice way to kind of top and tail my experience with the ANLP conferences.
Absolutely, thank you. So just to remind those people who are watching, Sue Knight is presenting in person, live in London in May 2026. And your topic for your presentation is Going to the Edge, which is going to be a wonder and a delight for all that are attending. So thank you so much, Sue, for spending time sharing with us a bit more about what the presentation is going to be about.
You're very welcome. And thank you.